workout video. We are going to do a 25-minute full body workout, and we're going to sprinkle in a few props. We have some bands here and hand weights, but if you don't have them, you can still do everything without those props. If you have been doing these videos and you want to help Pilates Punx out as we've been closed at the studio, please feel free to Venmo. Any amount helps. Our Venmo is at Pilates Punx. It's PUNX, just like our YouTube name here. So we're just going to start our timer. We have 25 minutes of working out, and I'm going to get you guys started right now. We're going to start that timer and then make our way to laying down on the mat. Our knees are bent, our feet are hip bone distance apart, the arms are long by the side. We are going to breathe in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. We're focusing on that breath, drawing out to the sides of the ribs all the way into your upper back. And then as you exhale out all of that breath, that rib cage will knit together a little bit tighter. Take your hands to your rib cage to draw your breath into your hands. If that tactile cue helps you feel where your breath is going. And the fingertips will draw a little bit closer together as we exhale. Now, as we're doing this work, we want that breath to go out to the sides and up rather than letting that belly puff out so that we're able to keep our navel to spine connection the entire time. Again, big inhales in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Relax the shoulders down away from your ears. Nice long arms as we complete this breathing. Big inhale and exhale. Sink that navel to spine a little bit deeper each time you exhale. We're going to turn to lay on our side. Line your back up with the edge of the mat. We're going to draw the legs to tabletop in front of us. We have our hands behind the neck and head. Make sure you're not pulling down on your head or neck. You want a nice long spine. Elbows are closed up. Knees are stacked. Big inhale. Exhale, open up that top elbow and rotate to look long past it. Make sure your top knee hasn't slid back. Big inhale, and exhale, you can close. Again, deep inhale. Exhale, opening up. The knees stay glued, but we rotate from above the hips. Big inhale. Exhale, close. One more on this side. Deep inhale. Exhale, opening up. Big stretch for our thoracic spine. Big inhale, and exhale, we can close back up. Go ahead and flip sides. You're going to lay down on your other side again, lining your back up with the edge of the mat. Your shoulders are stacked and your knees are stacked. We're in tabletop here. Hands will go behind the neck and head. Nice long neck. Elbows are closed up. Big inhale and exhale. Open up. Rotate to look long past that elbow. Big inhale and exhale, we can close. Relaxing our shoulders as we do this. Big inhale. Exhale, opening up. Rotate, look long past that elbow. Deep inhale and exhale, close. One more. Deep inhale. Exhale, opening up. Nice big stretch for the thoracic spine. Deep inhale and exhale, close back up. We're going to make our way to our hands and knees. We want to have the hands planted under the shoulders and the knees planted underneath the hips. Find your navel to spine connection. Round through your center, drop your head between your arms, round into a cat position, and then return to that flat back. Again, scoop the abs in and up, rounding through our center, and then just draw back to your neutral spine, keeping our navel to spine connection. Inhale, scoop those abs in and up, press up and out of the wrists, and exhale back to neutral. Keeping our neutral spine, reach the right arm forward and left leg back. And exhale, lower the hand, lower the knee. Inhale, left arm, right leg, reach it long. Keep that neck long, exhale, lower. Inhale, right arm, left leg, keeping those hips even. And lower back down, left arm, right leg, hold it. And lower with control. Again, right arm, left leg, inhale, reach long. And exhale, lower the hand, lower the knee. Inhale, left arm, right leg, reach it long, hold your balance. Exhale, lower the hand, lower the knee, and we can go ahead and sit back on our heels, taking a child's pose. Arms reach long. We'll slowly round up one vertebrae at a time. Your neck and head are the last thing to come up. Make your way back to laying on your back on the mat, getting ready for our hundreds. Now, we can start off just focusing on our chest lift, chin towards chest. We're going to round up all the way to the base of the shoulder blades, and we're focusing on that pumping of the arms. It's a small movement. We can keep the feet down, otherwise add tabletop legs and we can round up. And if you would like to make it more of a challenge, legs can go long, heels together, toes apart. So let's get ready. Hundreds are about to 2, start. We're gonna round up and start pumping our arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we are doing this work, you're pumping those arms like you're splashing the surface of water. If you need to get a little bit deeper into your hundreds, check out the link above when you're done with this video to work on those hundreds. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can always lower those legs down a little bit. I want you to keep that zip of the inner thighs. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Bend the legs to tabletop and go ahead and relax back down. We are going to grab your hand weights if you have them. We can always work without weights if you don't have them. We want to lengthen your arms up to the ceiling right over your shoulders. Your feet are planted hip bone distance apart. We're going to sweep the arms down long past the hips and float them back up. And I want you to find an abdominal connection as you're laying on your back, making sure your lower back is not arching up. Your rib cage is knit. As the arms sweep down, you should feel that connection get a little bit more controlled, and then you float back up. Make sure your hands do not go further behind your shoulders. We can add to this work with a chest lift, so we can continue with just the arm sweeps, or chin towards chest, rounding up, the arms reach past the hips. And we float the arms up as we lower the neck and head. Again, we can add that chest lift in. If that's too much, then you can always just keep the head down and continue with that first part. As we're sweeping the arms down, I want you to make sure that you reach all the way down long past the hips. You don't cut that movement short. You're just hovering over the mat. And when you draw back, we stop over the shoulders. We're gonna add tabletop legs and keep that chest lifted. If the tabletop is too much, keep the feet planted, but the chest stays up, and we're sweeping those arms down and back up. Keep your gaze at your navel point. Arms sweep down and we float back up. Keeping that navel to spine connection. The arms draw down. We're gonna extend those legs here, heels together, toes apart. Keep your gaze at your navel point. Breathe through our work here. Pull the legs to tabletop and lower down as the arms float up. Lower the feet down. Bend your arms to a 90-degree bend. The hands are over the elbows. Legs go to tabletop, chest lifts up. On our inhale, arms and legs will go long. Open the legs, close the legs, bend the legs on the exhale, then bend the elbows to deepen your exhale. Inhale, reach everything long, open, close, bend the legs to tabletop, bend the elbows. Inhale, we reach long, hold the breath, open, close, exhale, deepen that exhale. Continuing along, this is called coordination. So as we're doing this work, ideally your chest stays lifted the whole time. Exhale with the legs, deepen that exhale as you bend the elbows, reach everything long, we open and close those legs, bend the knees, bend the elbows, reach everything long. We're gonna open and close a few times here. So we keep that chest lifted, keep the legs long, reach long out of the hips, opening and closing those legs. As you're doing this work, we wanna connect into the abs and that pelvic floor. Open and close and bend the legs, bend the elbows, go ahead and relax the neck and head down. We can plant those feet once again. We're going to set those weights aside, keep those feet planted, and on our inhale, we round our way all the way up to sitting. Try your best not to let the feet lift. Sit tall at the top, and then find your C curve and slowly round your way right back down. Your neck and head are the last thing to come back. Again, chin towards chest. We round our way all the way up, and we're going to sit tall here. Find your C curve, relax your shoulders, slowly round your way down, one vertebrae at a time. Neck and head are the final thing to touch back. Chin towards chest, we round it up. Sit up tall, and you can always slide your feet a little further ahead of you if you can't keep those feet down. We can also walk the hands up the backs of the legs and down the backs of the legs if you need a little assistance. Make sure you find that nice length in your spine at the top before you round back down. We're gonna again round our way all the way up, sit tall here, and then find that scoop, control that roll down with the abs, relaxing the neck and head last. Chin towards chest, we round our way all the way up. We're gonna grab those hand weights, lengthen the arms forward, palms up to the ceiling. I want you to rock back just under the sacrum, find your C curve, and go into your bicep curls. Arms curl up and we lengthen back out. Curl to a 90-degree bend and lengthen. Keep those shoulders gliding down and back. Keep that scoop of the belly. Arms curl up. And as we're doing this work, you are not touching your own shoulders. You're only going to a 90-degree bend. You're keeping your torso still in that nice C curve. Hold that 90-degree bend, holding here, breathing. Relax the shoulders. Lengthen the arms, round up all the way. Set the weights aside once again, and then let's round right back down to complete that final roll down. We're gonna grab a TheraBand if you have one. If you don't, you can totally do this work without it. It is actually more challenging without the band. The left leg will go long on the mat and our right leg will go up to the ceiling. If you're using a band, you can loop around the arch of your foot. Arms are pressing into the mat if you don't have the band. You're hanging onto the ends if you do. Heel towards the midline, toes are facing out. Inhale, draw across your body, back in line with your hip, and you exhale, lift straight up. Keep your hips anchored. Draw across your body, back in line with that right hip, and lift straight up. As you're doing this work, I want you to go as low as you can without your back arching. If your back is arching, don't go quite so low. Inhale across your midline, back in line with your hip, exhale it up, and we can reverse. Inhale straight down, exhale across your body and back up to 90 degrees. Again, inhale straight down, exhale up and around. We have 3 more here. Make sure we still have that external rotation. Heel towards the midline, toes facing out. Last 2. Exhale back up and around. 1 more. Inhale straight down, exhale up and around, and then let's switch legs. Right leg is long on the mat, your left leg goes up to the ceiling. Looping that foot if you're using your band. Heel towards the midline, toes facing out. Inhale, go across your body, back in line with your hip. Exhale, lift. Keep your hips anchored. Across your body, back in line with your hip, and lift. Relax those shoulders. Make sure you are not letting that left hip wobble. We're gonna take it for 2 more. Inhale across, back in line with that hip. Exhale it up. 1 more. Inhale across your body, back in line with your hip. We exhale, lift it up, and we reverse straight down. Go across the body and around. As we're doing this, again, you want that heel towards the midline, toes facing out, sinking that navel to spine deeper. Inhale straight down, exhale up and around. We've got 2 more here. Reach long out of that hip socket, sink that navel to spine to lift. 1 more. Inhale straight down, exhale up and around, and we can go ahead and unloop that foot, get rid of that band if you had been using it. We're gonna plant our feet once again, hip bone distance apart. Inhale, chin towards chest. We're gonna round our way all the way up to sitting up on our mat. We want to have some space behind us on that mat. We wanna get set up for our rolling like a ball. So hang on to the outsides of the ankles, hover your feet over the mat. Your knees are as wide as the shoulders, the heels are close to the tush, and we're gonna start just shifting that weight back in our C curve and then connecting into our abs to round all the way back up to the top. We're in this tight ball shape. So we rock back and then we scoop those abs in and up to come up. We're gonna add to it, rocking back to the base of the shoulder blades and scooping those abs in and up to come back up. Try your best not to let your feet touch the mat. And try your best not to let the feet go further away from the tush. Rocking back and forth, we're connecting to the abs. Now we can continue with the first version or add into this version and continue that, or if you're up for more of a challenge, we rock back. We're gonna plant the feet and then stand up into a squat. Squeeze the glutes as we stand tall. Reach the arms forward as we lower back into our squat. And then we're gonna drop down to the mat to rock back. And again, plant the feet when you rock back up to come back into that squat. Squeezing those cheeks together so we get into our glutes. We can lower back down and then rock back into that rolling like a ball. So you have whichever version works for you. You can continue with your traditional rolling like a ball, or we can roll like a ball into a squat. And we're gonna continue along with a few more reps here. I want you to make sure you're connecting into the abs for the rolling part. You're squeezing the glutes for that squat part. Rib cage is knit. You have a nice flat back when you're in that squat, and then you're rounded when you're rolling like a ball. Reach those arms long, squeeze the glutes, and we're gonna lower and lift in this last squat, pulsing down 1 inch and up 1 inch. Squeeze our cheeks here, lower and lift, breathe through it. Rock back, 1 last rolling like a ball and catch yourself, come back up. We're gonna take it back to laying on the mat for our series of 5. That's series of 5. Right knee pulls in, outside hand to the ankle, inside hand to the knee. Chest lifts up, left leg is long, elbows are wide and lifted. We switch to the left. Inhale with the right and exhale with the left. Elbows are wide and lifted. Right leg pulls in and left. Inhale, right knee. Exhale, left. Keep your gaze at your navel point. Right leg pulls in. and left. Pull both knees in. Keep our chest lifted. Look at your belly button. Hands are on the shins. Arms reach back. Legs go forward. We exhale, pull into that ball. Inhale, reach it long, and exhale it in. Legs go long, heels together, toes apart. Exhale, back in. Inhale, reach long. Keep your gaze at your navel point. Sink that navel to spine to come back in. Last one here. Right leg goes up to the ceiling. Left leg long. And we switch to that left leg. Reach as high towards your ankle as you can and switch. Inhale, right leg draws up. And exhale with the left. Reach long out of the hips. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. We've got one more each leg. And switch. And 2 legs up, hands behind the neck and head, heels together, toes apart. We lower both legs down. We exhale, draw up. Lower your head if the neck is feeling strained. Inhale to lower the legs, exhale to lift. Make sure you don't go so far down that your lower back arches. Inhale, lengthen and lower. Exhale, navel to spine to lift. Again, inhale it down. Exhale, draw all the way up. Right knee pulls in, left leg long. We twist up and over towards that right knee and switch to the left. Inhale, up and over to the right. Exhale to the left. We're going to get that right shoulder towards the left knee, left shoulder towards the right knee. We twist from above the hips. We connect into the obliques and switch. Inhale over to the right. Breathe into this last one. Exhale over to the left. Breathe into it and then relax the neck and head. We can go ahead and lower our feet down, hip bone distance apart. We're going to round our way all the way back up to sitting once again. And then we're going to scoot back so we can have long legs, hip bone distance apart, our feet are flexed. We're sitting tall, we have as much space between the hips and the rib cage as possible. Arms reach forward, flexing the feet, scoop the abs in and up, reaching forward, and we exhale, restack. We want to reach the rib cage up and over the hips as we scoop our abs in and up, and we restack, sit taller. Again, inhale, scoop and reach. And restack, grow taller. 2 more. Reaching as we reach forward. I want you to make sure you're not collapsing on your legs. 1 more. Inhale, scoop those abs in and up. And we exhale to restack. And we can relax our arms. We are going to go ahead and realize that we're running out of time here. So we're going to grab that red band so we can get into our glutes. We take that band, if you have a loop band, it's gonna go up above your knees. If you have a long band, tie it into a loop. If you don't have a band, just lay down on your side. We're laying down with your back lined up with the edge of the mat. Your legs are to tabletop. We prop the neck and head up. Float your top leg up to hip height, and we open that leg and lower to hover. We want to lift and lower that leg, keeping our tabletop bend. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Now, if you have a band for resistance, you're lifting as high as you can stretch that band. If you don't have a band, I want you just to make sure you're not rolling back off of your stabilizing hip. You're not lifting too high. As we're doing this work, your ankle, shin, and knee all move together. Don't let that knee twist out. Don't let your ankle lead or lag. We lift, squeeze the glutes. We lower to hover at hip height. We lift and lower, and we want to keep a navel to spine connection as we're laying on our side. We're going to draw donut-sized circles straight in front of your hip, reaching long out of your hip socket. Little donuts. If you have the band, make sure that band is moving. We're drawing little circles, squeezing the glutes, breathing through our work. We reverse the direction of our circles. And they're donuts the size of like a Dunkin' donut. We're not going crazy, giant voodoo donut-sized donuts. And we can lower that leg down. Your heels are together. Don't let them separate. We lift and lower just the knee now. Turning out for our clams. If you have that band on, your goal is to try to break your band. If you don't have a band, you might lift a little bit higher, but I want you to make sure you squeeze those cheeks at the top and we squeeze those inner thighs at the bottom, whether or not you have that band. We're lifting and lowering, breathing through our work. Get that lift and lower. Again, we're gonna lift and stay lifted at the top, squeeze those glutes, lift it up, 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 squeeze those cheeks and lower down all the way. Extend the legs to the front corner of your mat, point your toe, lift the leg up to the ceiling, we flex and lower. We point, inhale, lift, we flex, exhale, lower. Your goal is to try to stretch that band as much as you can. Make sure we're not rolling backwards off of our stabilizing hip. Point to lift and flex to lower. Again, inhale, point and lift, flex, exhale, and lower. We're gonna flex that foot now, flex to lift and point to lower. We flex, inhale, lift, we point, exhale, and lower. Reach long out of that hip socket. Flex it up and lower with control. We're gonna take it for a couple more reps here. I want you to lift as high as you can and lower back down with control. Keep the foot pointed, we lift to hip height. We're gonna sweep that leg forward, circle up and behind the other leg. Just 3 times in each direction. And last one, drawing forward. When we line the legs up, we sweep it back, circle up and forward. Reach long out of that hip socket, last 2. Last one, sweep back, circle up and forward. Our legs can line up and we relax it down. Turn to lay on your stomach. Your hands will go underneath your shoulders, heels together, toes apart, and we're gonna lift up for our Cobra lift, lower back extension and lower. Make sure your arms are not pressing you up. Use just the lower back extensors, lifting, press the pelvis into the mat and lower. Keep our navel to spine connection. Again, inhale, we lift. And exhale, lower, relax the shoulders. Make sure your neck is not changing. You're not lifting your head with a change of the neck, just the lower back. Again, inhale, lifting up. Exhale to lower. And we can go ahead and take a quick child's pose. Sit back on the heels and reach your arms long. Get a little bit of forward flexion before switching sides. I'm just switching right over to the other side. Your back is going to be lined up at the back edge of the mat, and I want you to draw those legs to tabletop in front of you. Prop that neck and head up. Knees are in front of the hips, ankles underneath the knees. Lift the top leg to hip height, and then you lift it higher and lower back down to hip height. We open that knee up, squeezing our glutes, and we lower to hover. As we are lifting and lowering, I want you to make sure that you are, again, not rolling backwards off of your stabilizing hip. We want to squeeze those cheeks and lower down to hover at hip height. Making sure that, again, we're not rolling back off of the stabilizing hip and you are actively squeezing those cheeks together. Lift and lower just to that hover. Lift and lower. Breathing through our work. Lifting up high, lowering back to hip height. We hold it here and draw little circles the size of a donut. Reaching long out of that hip socket, straight through that knee. We're breathing through our work, squeezing our cheeks here. Little circles. We can reverse our direction. Again, we want to reach long out of that hip socket. The femur bone is rotating in your hip socket. Breathing through our work here, squeezing our cheeks. Little guys. And lower it down. Heels stay glued together. Open your knee up and lower with control. Lift that knee, stretch your band, and lower, squeeze the thighs. Lift, squeeze the cheeks, lower, squeeze the thighs. Again, we breathe through our work. We want to make sure that we're not rounding back off of our stabilizing hip. We lift, squeeze, lower, and squeeze those thighs. Opening that knee up, making sure that those heels don't separate. Stay lifted, pulse it up, 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 up. Breathe through our work and lower it down. Legs go long to that front corner. We have 2 long legs. Point the toe. Stretch that band as we lift the leg up to the ceiling. Flex to lower the leg. Point, inhale, lift. Flex, exhale, lower. Reach long out of the hip. We point and lift. We flex and lower. I want you to lift as high as you can without rounding back off of your stabilizing hip. Again, point to lift and flex to lower. We keep the foot flexed. We flex, lift it up, and point, lower it down. Flex, inhale, lift, point, exhale, lower. Reach long out of that hip socket, lifting up and lowering with control. Again, flex to lift and point to lower. One more, flex, lift, point, and lower. Keep the foot pointed up to hip height. Sweep forward, circle up and back. 3 in each direction. Again, we sweep forward, arc up and behind the other leg. Last one. We will line our legs up, hovering at hip height. We sweep backwards, circle up and forward. Again, inhale, sweep back, circle up and forward. One more here, squeezing those glutes, and then we can go ahead, line the legs up and relax it down. Punch out that glute. We can remove that band from our legs. We are done with the glute portion of our workout here. Last thing, we go ahead and stand up on the mat, heels together, toes apart. On our inhale, chin towards chest, rounding down 1 vertebrae at a time like you're rolling down a wall. Your hands will find the mat and we walk out to a plank. You are welcome to drop down to the knees. The elbows go closely into your side. We have 10 push-ups. If it's too much to do a push-up with your feet on that mat, you can go ahead and make a plank from the knees up to the shoulders. It's not about how low we get. If your back is arching, you've gone too low. I want you to make sure that you're able to keep that back long, and then your range of motion is dependent on that. Get that squeeze into our triceps. We lower, and on this last one, we are just holding our halfway. We lift it up, pike those hips up, walk our hands back, round up just to clear the mat. Your heels are down, head is heavy. Draw loose pendulum circles with your arms in one direction. Let your shoulders be nice and loose. We can reverse our direction. Nice loose circles, relaxing here. Arms can draw to a stop. Shake the head no. Nod the head yes. Slowly begin to restack the vertebrae. Your neck and head are the final thing to come up. Round the shoulders back. And you are done. We made it through our workout. And that is it. You made it through your 25-minute workout. Great job to you guys. Stay tuned. Every week I am posting another free full body workout. And check out some of the little shorts that we're posting too if you want to get a little bit deeper into your work and understand. If you want to add any of the props into your work and you don't have them, go to PilatesPunx.com. Check out our video add-ons. And of course, if you are looking to help us out in any way, please donate via Venmo at Pilates Punx. I hope you guys enjoyed this workout, and I will see you next time.